What's going on, everyone? Back for week 9, I think, of Thursday Night Race League. Yeah, this week is Fat Lip. So before I start talking about that, we are right now approaching actually right where I crashed last week. Yeah, it ended up not being too bad. I was worried I might have like broken a rib or something. That was way exaggerated. It's been 1 week since then and pretty much fully recovered on that front. If anything, the worst thing from that crash is I got poison ivy. Yeah, getting thrown into the woods. And I can see all the poison ivy right now just looking in there, yep. So that sucks. And actually the worst injury I sustained last week wasn't even from that crash. It was my last run. I actually hit upper dom and just hit my brakes way too hard before the last jump and cased it, foot slipped off, and just sent the pedal straight into my shin. So yeah, not great. As you guys can see, no new bars or stem yet. I got the bars in. I ordered a new 40mm stem from Hope. That's the same purple as my brakes. And unfortunately, they sent me a 50mm stem, and they said that I would not be able to get the new one, the right one, 40mm, for 2 to 3 weeks. So we will be rocking this setup for a little bit. But yeah, Fat Lip this week. Not thrilled about that. I have only ridden Fat Lip twice, ever. Once last season and once this season. So this will be interesting to say the least. I'm certainly really not expecting to do better than last on this one. I think the real challenging part for me is going to be that first little rock roll. I think both times I've ridden it, I've gotten stuffed up at the bottom of that where you cross through twist. I just didn't carry enough speed into there, and it's a pretty slow trail in general, so gonna have to do my best to focus on not sitting on the brakes, but we'll see how we do. All right, the top, and I'm just gonna take my regular warm-up here of some ego trip to Deviant. There is a theme for this week, which is sports jerseys. I do not own any sports jerseys, not a huge sports fan. I do own one jersey, and it's my big privilege jersey. If you know, you know. But I wasn't sure if that was gonna count, so I just didn't even bother. But I do want to ask before I leave, would that have counted had I worn it? Also, wasn't feeling super, I don't know what the word is, super, I guess, excited or, you know, in the mind space to race today. Normally I get up on Thursdays and I'm pretty pumped about coming to Creek. This morning it was kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling it. I will say, now that I'm out here and on the bike, I'm certainly feeling it a bit more. Another interesting thing is, obviously since oh my god, ooh, that was bad. Obviously since I crashed pretty, well, first run last week, and I took only 2 more after that, haven't really gotten a huge chance to feel out the new fork. So excited to see how I feel about it today. Right now it feels like something's rattling on the bike, which is not good. Check it out when I get to the bottom. But Fat Lip will also end up being the first tech trail I ride with the new setup. So that'll be interesting. First experience on tech with this dual crown setup will be during my race run. I'm also currently wearing my moto helmet. After the crash, I figured I should probably get a new one. Ordered the same one I had, Liat Gravity, what's it, 2 I think, but it hasn't come in yet. So wearing a heavy ass moto helmet right now, which actually isn't, it's really not that noticeable, to be honest. All right, back up. Line for the race doesn't look too bad. I'm guessing not a lot of people are here this week, probably. Can't imagine too many people are super excited about racing Fat Lip, but we're not gonna go quite yet. I'm gonna hit a breakout lap real quick, do a full one, not cutting into Sally. Oh, also I noticed, yeah, I guess my GoPro settings weren't quite right last run. Didn't have the ultra wide lens set up, so fixed that. I also checked on all of the bolts I could on my bike when I was down there. I couldn't find anything that seemed off, but I'm certainly still noticing there's some weird rattling going on, so I might take it into the shop real quick, see if anyone there can maybe help me figure out what's going on with it. Keep it moving here. I think actually I'm gonna hit a Alpine run, because one of the things I was interested about with this new fork is how it feels on the braking bumps. Well, I certainly still felt those braking bumps, that's for sure. All right, it's gonna be this berm coming up. It's gonna be the real test here. Oh. All right, gotta be honest, I don't feel a difference between this and the Zeb on the braking bumps. That felt just as bad as ever. I mean, who knows, maybe the Zeb would have felt worse with everything and how it's feeling right now, but I kind of doubt it. All right, confronting the spot of my last crash. Always feels a little bit weird the first time you ride something after you've crashed on it. Yeah, definitely took it way more chill than usual there. I'm not pulling for this thing at the moment. Alright, so I brought my bike in to the shop. He initially couldn't find anything loose. He said it was probably just my seat. That had been loose. And then we took a look at my spokes, and my God, were some of the spokes in the back wheel loose. Really need to get myself a spoke wrench. I've made it this far just borrowing other people's, so I should probably grab one of those. But so far I don't feel any rattling, so I'm thinking that's all it was, which is great. Whew. Yeah, no rattling so far, so I think we are in good shape. And I gotta remember to check on my spokes every now and then. And then after this run, I think I'll go do my first race lap. At least figure out how I need to ride that first section with the rock roll. A little short on those. Ooh. Pretty short on that. Man. Back to it. A little too far to the left on that. Need to send it more to the right. I landed where there was barely a landing. Alright. Entrance gonna be the same as twist. Stay to the left. So now going into this. That lip over here. Now here is the tough part. Ooh. All right, that was certainly way better than I've ever done that. Wow. This trail is definitely a bit chunkier than I remember it being. Alright, that was better than I thought I'd do. Still probably last though. better than I thought I'd do. I was contemplating riding the little tech trail here off Breakout, unmarked one, but I feel like it's going to be pretty overgrown right now. I think I'm going to pass. I think if there's one part I could have really improved on there, it was definitely getting into that rock roll. Like, man, that part, a little bit scary, guys, gotta be honest. I'm starting to think about whether or not I even want to do my second fat lip run, to be honest. I will say I don't really see myself doing much better than I just did, but dude, my hands are just getting real beat up right now. I'm not even going to bother with the double down here. My hands are just fried, and it's starting to have an impact on how I'm squeezing the brakes, which has me nervous to continue riding here right now. I think what I might do is I might get down to the bottom here, check my time on that fat lip run, and if I'm not in dead last by an embarrassing amount, I might just call it. Once you start getting real tired like this and it starts to affect your riding, that's when injuries happen. And I'm not trying to get injured again. Alright, live check right now, sitting here at the bottom. Let's see where we're at. 8:13, that is the date, right? That is the date. We are in last by a lot. 13 seconds. Damn. Damn. Well, shit, man. I don't know. Despite what I said, I gotta run it back. I gotta run it back. Kind of invented a new line there through the middle. Probably wasn't optimal, but fuck it. I definitely think I did a bit better there. I got to the rock roll a bit faster. Not a lot faster, but a little bit faster. Alright, so that was now the third and fourth time I've ever ridden that trail. I gotta say, I like it more than I remember it, at the very least. It's a pretty good race trail, actually. At the very least, it's definitely, I think, better than, I think what we've had the past 2 weeks have been Upper Deviant and Ego Trip, which are just straight up pedal races. Like, Fat Lip isn't super steep or anything, but it's steep enough that, you know, you're keeping your momentum. You're not like pedaling through it. You really can't, but you know. And I'm gonna finish this out with a Greenhorn to probably Indy. Get a nice cool down in. But yeah, I don't, despite everything, I mean, we'll see what I got at the bottom there. I certainly don't think I climbed up the leaderboards at all. That run definitely was not 13.5 seconds faster than my first one. But it was definitely better. And honestly, that really might have been the best I've ever, like, just plowed through tech before in general. So, you know, we're winning in the battle of personal goals. That's all that really matters. I'm gonna sit down. Glad I came back up. I was ready to pack it up. I was just real tired when I got down last run. But seeing that I was losing by 13 seconds was all the motivation I needed to at least give it another shot. I think, so I was at 105 and change, and I will be happy enough if I was able to bring that down to under a minute. I would have to bring it down to 52.3 was the next spot up above me, which, yeah, no shot that happened. But also, I feel like I got some pretty good pictures on this one. Just paying attention to where the photographers were. And I have been getting a little screwed over with that. Just by my own luck. Also by the fact that I've been waiting till like real end of the day to take my race runs, and a lot of times they're not doing photos anymore. But my best picture I got so far was on Twist, and I ruined that one because I was absolutely death pinching my seat when they took the photo.
Oh my goodness!
So honestly, on first run I was a little bit more cognizant of that. Second I saw the photographer, I fixed my form. We need photographers all up and down the trail. That way I won't be death gripping my seat. All right, back at the car now. Gonna check how I did on that second run, see if we were able to get under a minute. Let's see, did I crack a minute? Did I even do better on my second run? Let's find out. We cracked a minute! 59.2. Hey, we're still last, but my personal goal, we got it. So, hey, gotta take what you can get. I will see you guys next week.